today's video, we're tackling a question a lot of beginners have when it comes to car insurance. Is it cheaper to buy online or should you go through an agent? What's up, you guys? My name's Ashley, and if you're brand new to car insurance, this video is going to give you the clarity that you need to just really make a smart and informed choice about your car insurance. So car insurance is one of those things that feels really complicated at first. One ad promises you can buy a policy in minutes and save hundreds. Another tells you to talk to an agent for the best deal. So which one is actually cheaper and which one is right for you? Let's break it down step by step. So before we even get into online versus agent, let's make sure we understand what car insurance does. At its core, car insurance is a contract. You pay a monthly premium and the car insurance company promises to help cover the cost if you're in an accident, if your car is damaged, or if you injure someone else. There are a few main types of coverage. We've got liability that covers other people if you cause damage. We've got collision that pays for your car insurance if you crash into something. Comprehensive covers non-collision stuff like theft, fire, or storm damage. Then you've even got some extras like roadside assistance, rental car reimbursement, or gap coverage if you're still paying off your car loan. Every state sets its own minimum requirements, and lenders typically require full coverage if your car is financed. But how you buy that coverage online or through an agent can change the price you pay, how easy it is to set up, and how much support you'll have when you need it. Let's start off with online. Buying car insurance online means going directly to a company's website or using a comparison platform. You enter your details, your age, your driving record, your zip code, and your car, and in just a few minutes, you can get a list of quotes. Sometimes you can even purchase your policy instantly and have it active the same day. The big draw here is speed. You don't need to make appointments or wait on hold. You can shop at midnight if you want. Online insurers also save money by not running as many offices, so they can often pass those savings back to you in the form of lower rates. For example, if you're a single driver with a newer car and a clean record, you're the exact type of customer online companies are built for. They don't have to factor in complicated situations like teen drivers or multiple vehicles. That makes it really easy for them to give you a fast, low quote. Another advantage is transparency. Online platforms let you tweak things like your deductible or your liability limits and instantly see how much it changes your premium. That just gives you control. You can play with the numbers until you find the balance between cost and coverage that feels right. But there are some trade-offs. The first is that you're on your own. If you don't know what those numbers mean, it's really easy to underinsure yourself. For example, the cheapest option might be your state's minimum liability. But if you cause a serious accident, that won't come close to covering the damages, and you could just be left paying the rest. Another drawback is customer service. With online first companies, most of the support happens through apps, emails, or call centers. That's fine for simple stuff like changing your address, but if you're in an accident, it can feel really frustrating not to have a dedicated person guiding you through the claims process. So who should buy online? Online works best if your situation is simple. If you have one car, a clean record, and you're comfortable handling details yourself, you'll likely get some of the cheapest quotes online. Like I mentioned, if you want to get a quote and see a bunch of different options, use our link down in the description. It's a short survey and you'll get a bunch of quotes super fast. All you have to do is enter in your zip code, how many cars will be on your policy, how old you are, if you're currently insured, do you own a home, have you or a family member honorably served in the US military? Yes or no, and then you click submit and you'll get a bunch of different options. Now, let's talk about buying car insurance through an agent. An agent is your personal guide to insurance. They ask questions, explain terms, and they're going to help you decide what coverage actually makes sense for your situation. There are two kinds of agents. Captive agents work for one company like State Farm or Allstate and only sell their specific products. And then there's independent agents who shop multiple companies to find you the best fit. Again, the main benefit of working with an agent is guidance. Car insurance has a lot of moving parts, different coverages, discounts, and requirements. And if you're not familiar with it, an agent makes sure you don't accidentally leave yourself unprotected. For example, let's just say you got 2 cars, a teenage driver, and a house you want to bundle. Shopping online, you'll have to fill out multiple forms, compare dozens of quotes, and figure out which discounts apply. With an agent, you can have one conversation and they'll piece it all together for you. They can bundle your auto and home for bigger savings than what you'd find online. Another advantage of agents is advocacy. If you ever have to file a claim, your agent is someone you can call directly. Instead of sitting in a phone queue with a call center, you can talk to the person who sold you the policy and get advice on the next steps. For a lot of people, that peace of mind is worth the extra potential cost. But there are some downsides. Working with an agent usually takes longer. You might have to wait a day or two for them to shop quotes or schedule a call. And while they can sometimes uncover some discounts you'd miss online, other times their policies cost a little bit more because of the personal service built in. So who should buy through an agent? Agents are best for people with more complex needs, families with multiple drivers, homeowners looking to bundle, or anyone who just feels overwhelmed by the insurance process. If you want expert guidance and long-term support, an agent can definitely be a smart investment. So which one is actually cheaper, online or an agent? Online tends to be cheaper for simple, straightforward situations. If you're a single driver with one car and no complicated history, online platforms often gives you the lowest quotes. Agents can actually end up cheaper in more complex situations, especially when you're bundling with other types of insurance. For example, if you insure your home and car together, or you have multiple drivers on one policy, agents can unlock discounts that don't always show up online. And the truth is, there's no universal answer. For some people, online is cheapest. For others, an agent is. The only way to know is to compare. And like I said, the best way to do that is through that survey that I showed you. And again, that link is down below and it takes about 30 seconds to fill out. It is so quick and so effective. Now let's dive into some of the pros and cons of online. So buying car insurance online has a lot of appeal, honestly. The biggest advantage is speed. You can compare multiple quotes in minutes, tweak your coverage settings, and even activate a policy the same day. For beginners, this kind of instant transparency makes it very easy to see how small changes like raising your deductible directly impact your monthly premium. Online companies also tend to have lower overhead, which often translates into cheaper prices, especially if your situation is pretty straightforward. But as always, there are trade-offs. The downside is that you're navigating the process alone. If you don't fully understand terms like liability limits or comprehensive coverage, it's easy to accidentally buy less protection than you really need. Customer support can also feel less personal because most interactions happen through apps, emails, or call centers. That works fine for simple updates, but if you're in a stressful situation like a car accident, the lack of dedicated agent to call can be super frustrating, and I know this from personal experience. Now let's talk about the pros and cons of agents. Working with an agent is almost the opposite experience. The biggest advantage is guidance. Agents walk you through every coverage option, explain discounts, and help you avoid costly mistakes. They're really helpful if you have multiple drivers, want to bundle your car with home insurance, or have a driving history that makes online quotes confusing. Agents can also unlock discounts that don't always appear on comparison websites, which means the final price could actually be lower than what you'd find online. Another pro is advocacy. If you ever have to file a claim, you're not just another number in a call queue. You can talk directly to the person who sold you the policy. That personal support can make a stressful situation feel so much more manageable. Of course, the trade-offs are time and sometimes cost. Getting set up through the agent can take longer since there are calls, paperwork, or meetings involved. And while many people save money through bundles, others may pay slightly more for the personalized service. And for some, that is 1000% worth it. For others, the extra time and cost might not make sense compared to the simplicity of buying online. So which one should you choose? If you're just starting out, have one car, and want something fast and easy, online is probably the best choice. You'll get quotes instantly, see what's the cheapest, and be covered in minutes. If you have a family, own a home, or want to bundle multiple policies, an agent might save you more money overall. Even if the monthly premium is slightly higher, the added discounts and support could make it worth it. The important thing isn't just about the absolute lowest price. It's finding the right coverage for your lifestyle and your budget. I know how overwhelming it feels when you're shopping for car insurance for the first time. Every ad says they're the cheapest, and it's really hard to know who to trust. But the truth is, you don't have to figure out everything today. Start by getting a few quotes. Even just 10 minutes of comparison will help you feel more confident and in control. If you want to shop around for different car insurances online, use our exclusive link down in the description below, and you can take that survey that takes less than 30 seconds. It's going to give you so much clarity and peace of mind, and it's a baby step that you can take right now. That wraps up this video. This channel is dedicated to breaking down insurance in simple, clear terms so you can make smart choices for yourself, your family, and your future. If you loved this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and leave any comments or questions below. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.